Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Arkham Origins Deathstroke, which is a brand new release that definitely didn't come out a long time ago, and I didn't get it until now because I was lazy and didn't bother picking it up. That's not what happened. It's a brand new release. Trust me, I would never lie to you. Anyway, this figure is one where many people have said it's one of the best things ever, and many people have said it's actually not that good. And in this review, I'm going to give you all the information. You can decide for yourself what you think. I'll tell you what I think, and hopefully that'll give you the information you need to decide if you want to track one of these down, if you haven't already, since it is definitely brand new and not been out for a while. Alright, let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 7¼ inches, which makes him pretty close to, let's say, 18½ centimeters. And before we get into the review, let's go ahead and do a question of the day. Is Deathstroke the coolest Batman villain besides Joker? I think he probably is. I think even including Joker, he's probably the coolest. Like, Joker's a good villain, but this guy's way cooler, especially the armored version. Just definitely cooler. Like, you can't beat an armored guy, right? And a sword and a gun and everything. Yeah, this guy's definitely cooler than Joker. That's just some guy in a suit. Alright, on to the review. From an aesthetic standpoint, there's a lot of stuff that's really nice on here. There's also a lot of stuff that's straight up butts. Garbage trash. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First thing, I have to cover this. There's the reference image. That's the source material right there. I love that they keep providing it for me. It helps my reviews be so much more accurate. And it shows me how wrong they are on the things they're doing. And this is not like this is a new thing, alright? This game came out like 1,000 years ago, maybe more. And somehow they still managed to be crazily inaccurate. I don't know what happened. Maybe you guys, some of you who are like hardcore into the games, I played them all, but well, you can let me know. But look, first of all, objectively, his orange is like peach colored. He's very pale, and it takes away a lot from the look. He's very orange, very like pure orange in the game, and his blue's kind of like a steely blue, which I'll take this, that's fine. But also just detail work wise, check out the abs. Totally different designs from figure to source material. Even the chesticle, the plate armor is totally different. The thigh armor is totally different. They've changed a lot of things on this figure for no apparent reason. I don't understand that. It's almost like they didn't use the final material. Maybe this isn't the final and the game is slightly different and this is accurate. I don't know, you guys can let me know. I don't have time to research the game's various changes throughout the production cycle. Anyway, it's not accurate, which is probably just the case because most of their figures haven't been. It still looks really good. They have a ton of detail work in there, whether it's accurate or not. It's still nicely done. They definitely do a lot of 3D modeling. I would bet it's in ZBrush, and they just pack in all the details like they should, which is very nice. Love it. Sculpt work is great. The sculpt on the head is fantastic. It's definitely lacking paint. There's no black layer around the eye. Let me use the card to show you. In the game, there's like a layer of black in there around the eye. You see that? Like the inside part of the helmet that's missing on the figure, and it does take away. They didn't paint the scratches either anywhere, so that's definitely disappointing. But it is still a generally aesthetically pleasing figure due to the level of sculpt work on there. From an aesthetic standpoint, they did a good job. He's nowhere near as thick as he should be on the bottom half. Like, his thighs are tiny. He's got really tiny thighs. If this is plate armor and his thighs are in there, he's got no legs. He's just bones, so that's a bummer. But otherwise, it does look pretty good. They got a nice orange for this at least, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It would be way higher if the orange wasn't the wrong color entirely. That's all there is to it. Oh, also, I have to mention this. They painted the scale mail very silver on the figure, which is questionably accurate. They didn't paint it all though. Like, they didn't paint any of the part above the belt, so that above this belt. So that's a huge, huge bummer. I don't know if you guys have that missing paint also, but it looks terrible. So yeah, 7 out of 10. As far as accessories go, we do have his katana, which is very nice. It's about as good as they could do for that. And they have a pistol, which is molded into his belt, or his holster, so that blows. We do get the trading card, which you already saw the image for, but I'll show you again. And there it is, it's a trading card. And you have the little black display stand, which is a little black display stand. No alternate hands. Kind of disappointing. Also interesting to note, the katana, which is sheathed like this, which would be drawn with his left hand, that's the hand with the trigger finger, and then the hand without the trigger finger is the other hand. The hand where the pistol is has no trigger finger. Why? Why does that happen? Like, you know the katana's on this side. Shouldn't he be having the katana hand on that side too? I'm pretty sure he should. That's a little bit weird. So accessory-wise, 3 out of 10. Missing hands that are necessary. No guns. Nothing from the game other than the katana and then the molded-in gun on the holster. Just garbage. That's just really, really lazy. And I understand that McFarlane's deciding to do tons of new molds and that's very expensive. That's not really my problem or your problem. You're the one that has to pay for these things. They should give you something that's worth paying for, not something that costs them too much to be able to afford reasonable accessories. All right, on to the articulation. I really haven't messed with it too much. Let's see. We have balls up here for the neck. Doesn't lean back very far at all. Leaning forward is fine. Leaning side to side is very limited. Well, okay, it's not that limited. It's just very tight. So that's good. I mean, either way, that's really good. But I have to tell you if it works or not. It does. Rotation is obviously fine. It's just a little bit limited because how high up the collar is, and it's a solid piece of plastic. It's not soft. The shoulders have the ball peg that let them wiggle around, but as usual, it serves zero purpose. Don't know why they keep doing that. You can raise the arms up pretty well. A lot of that's happening in there because the hinge is so damn tight. But either way, you can raise the arms up just about horizontal. Shoulder pads move with the bicep, so that's pretty good. You get as well as they could have done with these shoulders. That's what they did with big arms, like the big armor on the top of the arms like that. There's not much you can do, and they did a good job. You do get your full rotation, though it does kick out a little bit from the trap armor up there. That's still pretty good. That's fine. Bicep swivel is in there, hidden under the armor. Double jointed elbows. Very good range. Not the worst looking things either. We've seen way worse from this line, and that's definitely fine. For the wrists, we have ball hinge wrists, which are very nice, and they actually made them the orange color rather than black, which is kind of cool. That's pretty good. I like that. For the torso, it seems to me like there's a hinge inside the torso, and this is all soft, but I can't get it to move. This is not soft enough, and the way it's sculpted makes it almost impossible to flex. But let's see what's down there in the waist. Maybe a ball peg, maybe a hinge. I don't know. It does lean forward and back some. Definitely has a hinge side to side. That's really good range. Obviously, you get your rotation. I don't know what's going on in here. It's very stiff. Maybe nothing. But you get some at the waist, which is acceptable, especially for this line. It's okay. For the hips, they go out far enough. It's not great, but it's good enough. It'll get the job done. Going forward, very limited. I don't know if it's the ass cheek. Yeah, so it's the sculpted ass cheek right here, fighting the actual ass cheek. Once you get it out there, you can bring the leg pretty far forward. It does kick it to the side just a little bit, but it's okay. I don't know why they put such a highly sculpted, such a high placement for the sculpted ass cheek on the leg. It just gets in the way for no reason. The only thing it's good for is hiding the gap a little bit when the leg's all the way forward, but even still, that should be farther in. Yeah, not a great design there. No thigh swivel to speak of. Double jointed knee. It works well enough. It's definitely not great. We've seen way better. Let me see if I can do the top one first. Sometimes for joints like this, it depends which part of the joint you use primarily. And I can't get the top one to go any farther, and I'm pretty strong. So I guess that's it. Double jointed knee kind of blows. Ankle is a ball hinge, which is nice. It's heavily ratcheted, and it doesn't go far enough forward, so you're going to have a lot of trouble getting him to stand. But ball hinges in general are nice. It's just a matter of the ratcheting being a problem. And he does have a toe hinge, which is stiff enough and far enough forward that it may be useful, but I feel like it's going to not be because it's only stiff in certain positions. That's what she said. Not the best articulation. It'll get the job done. 6 out of 10. There's a lot of limitation here that doesn't need to be there. But as far as the figure goes, it's not bad. There have been better versions of this Deathstroke as far as I can remember. It's been so long, I don't know. But it's definitely a good enough release. If you're into this scale and into this McFarlane line, I think you're going to be okay with it despite its flaws because it's still a cool Deathstroke. Sometimes the character design will go a long way in carrying a mediocre figure. I think that's the case here. I don't hate it personally, but objectively it's riddled with flaws. So I'm going to give it a final verdict of only 6 out of 10. If it wasn't for the fact that the character design itself is freaking cool, this figure is a big dud. Big time dud. McFarlane lucked out that they had a really cool character design to make a pretty crappy figure out of. Crappy in like a Better than average. Better than crappy, but crappy for good. How's that? There you go, guys. Let me know what you think about the figure. Let me know what you thought about the review. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.